Whoa! Look at you showed up for another Comedy Spot Live. Well, thank you for being here. My name is Brian. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming out and watching. You know, we do Facebook and Twitch and Twitter and YouTube lives every single night. So thanks for coming back. Tonight's show is the Bad Flick Show. But before we get to that, I want to remind you about going to our satcomedyspot.com/live page where you can get our full live stream schedule. So check that out there. Also, Big Day of Giving starts in just a couple of hours. I will be live streaming for 24 hours straight right here at the Comedy Spot starting at midnight. And I'll go all the way through till midnight. You can check out our full schedule at satcomedyspot.com/live. We have shows all the time. So please join us for that. It'll be a lot of fun. And remember, all of our shows and classes, in-person shows and classes, are paused right now. So if you can do us a favor, maybe buy a virtual ticket or donate there at that link also. Last thing, and then we're on with the show, please comment. We love to hear your comments, and all of your comments I can share right here. So let's see what people are talking about. Sarah says, hey, everyone. Well, hello to you, Sarah. Let's see. Sarah Nicole says, hey, Sarah. Long time no see. We're just catching up. That's what our shows are all about. We haven't seen each other in a while. We have conversations in the background. Let's see. The Comedy Spot came on, and they gave you the link to our live schedule. So there we go. Let's see. Becky says, wanted to say hi, but I have to go to work. All right. Well, hello, Becky, and goodbye. You got your highs in. Sarah just laughs and has drool coming out of her face now. So, hey, it's nice to see everybody. Share your comments. No matter what platform you're watching this on, I can share your comments here. Like Tim Crump, he says, hi, Brian and Alex. I'm excited. Orphan Andrew is a guest. He's awesome. Well, I agree. And without further ado, let me get your host on here so they can do all the proper intros to everyone on the show. So here is your host for the Bad Flick Show. It's Alex. Here he is.
Hey, everybody. Yes, this is the Bad Flick Show. I get the worst clips ever and have my comedian friends watch them and then get their opinions on them. Today's show I'm super excited about. We have 3 guests. I'm going to introduce the first 2 of our guests, a couple Comedy Spot favorites. We have Mike LaRosa and Tessa Brown.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Look, I can get them side by side.
Yay!
Oh.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Nice. Perfect. And we also have special guests from 106.5 The End, Orphan Andrew. What's up, Orf?
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Hey, thanks, Tim. That's really nice, man. Appreciate it.
Nice. We were trying to get Dinger, but no luck. No luck.
He's very busy. He's doing a lot of good charitable work right now. So shout out to Dinger.
Perfect. Well, glad to have you on the show there, Andrew. Appreciate it. I wanted to start things off with kind of an opening question here. And that is, like, what's, like, one just horrible movie that you enjoy but others, you know, might hate? Andrew, what about you? What's in that vault?
Okay. This is easy. Okay. Showgirls. I'm going to throw it out there. Showgirls.
Ooh, sexy.
I don't know why everyone talks so much crap about Showgirls and Elizabeth Berkley and like the content of the movie and the plot of the movie. That's not what it's about. It's the artistry. So stop. It's great. It's great when you're like sick on the couch. You can't watch it on cable because they censor it too much. So you need to I need to find out where it's streaming, actually. That's a great question.
Indeed, a classic. I remember being home from school sick. You know, my mom's like, I know it's going to make you feel better. We'll put Showgirls.
It's Nomi Malone, baby.
Fantastic. Mike, what about you?
For me, it would have to be the early 90s Arnold Schwarzenegger classic, Last Action Hero.
Ooh, that's good.
Panned by critics, beloved by a child Mike. It is just so fun and goofy and so clever in its writing and its like deconstruction of action movies and self-awareness. Like, if it came out today, everybody would love it. but it came out in the 90s and nobody was ready for it, and it got panned.
I'm still not ready for that movie.
I watched it like last month. It holds up.
Okay.
And Tessa, what about you?
So mine is actually probably the most hated still. So I don't think it holds up. Twilight, the original, the first Twilight. That was an indie flick. The director, forget her name, but thank you to Brian. Brian's a twihard.
Oh.
I do love the Twilight.
Really good. The music's good because it's all like indie music. Robert Pattinson, he's a musician, and one of his songs it plays in the restaurant when they have their first date.
Ooh. So you're Team Edward, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Team Edward. Actually, I'm Team Billy Black.
Ooh.
Very specific. That's so funny.
Oh, fantastic.
Hey, Alex, can I share some of the people that are watching, some of their picks?
Absolutely. I'm curious. I'm curious what they.
Well, first of all, Laura Carruthers says Showgirls is so awful, it's amazing. Jess says Toxic Avenger is her movie. Guilty pleasure. Amy Nelson says there's better ways to waste time than Showgirls. So there you go.
Maybe.
What the Jabberwocky is back, and he says Food Boy. Is that a thing?
I think he just said 2 words.
Thank you, Tessa. Let's see. Sarah Agamahamadi says, I thought he was going to say Kindergarten Cop. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Megan
That's also a really good movie.
Oh, no. Megan says, damn it, I love Showgirls. So there you go. Yeah.
It's got some support. Yeah.
Jess's love Twilight. Yeah. So
I know, yeah. It's actually a classic.
Jess says, I'm Team Charlie, which is Bella's dad. So I agree with that.
Charlie.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for now. I just wanted to share that.
Perfect.
Oh, wait. Sorry. One more thing.
Go for it.
Tina Jett says Tessa Brown's commentary is brought to you by White Claw. So there you go. All right.
Of course.
Sponsor me.
What flavor do you got, Tessa, on the White Claw?
Tangerine. It's part of the new summer pack.
Ooh.
I woke up at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday to get toilet paper and this pack of summer White Claws from the Target in Natoma.
All the essentials.
Yes.
I got mango in the fridge.
Nice.
What a treat.
Fantastic. All right, let's get with the bad clips here. So the first clip, I know this week we've kind of got like a new thread there, this like murder bug thing that's happening. And I'm going to be honest, when I first heard about it, I was like, I've seen something much more terrifying than this. And that comes from the 70s classic, The Swarm. Here it is.
All right, here you go.
They killed my mom and my dad!
What?
Paul Durant. C4. Anthony, be here! Please! Get him out of here, please! Get him away!
Doctor, would you let him go, please? Let him go.
Do what he says, Tomas.
Back away.
Where's the bee?
Paul, listen to me. There is no bee in this room. No, there isn't. You are having a nightmare. Only a
Fun
nightmare.
surprise.
Yo, trippy.
Can you hear me, Paul? The bee is not real. Paul, I promise you it isn't. Now, reach out, and it will go away. You'll see. Now, please, Paul, reach out. Reach out, Paul.
Oh God.
Please trust me. Reach out. Further. Go on. There. You see, Paul? No bee.
Is that it? Okay, good.
That's it.
Yeah.
Terrifying. That's what you got to worry about. Whew.
What's scary is Michael Caine.
Yeah, was that actually Michael Caine?
That was.
Sir Michael
Wow.
Caine.
Mhm. You
Wait,
knew how to pick 'em early on.
everyone do your best Michael Caine impression.
Oh, gosh.
Who wants to go first?
I
Michael,
have no idea who Michael Caine is. So
Michael Caine. Michael.
The only one I know, the only impression I know of his is like tangerines. They're tangerines, as big as tangerines.
Something.
do the White Claw.
Just want to watch the world burn.
There we go. That's
Nice.
good.
Really good.
That's very good.
Can we all agree that that kid had weird wet dreams?
He was wet. He was wet. I also, so what's first alarming is the fact that he's driving a car. There's no way he's 15.
Yeah, no way.
That's not legal.
Yeah, I wanted to know what was up with that.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate that, like, they probably didn't have the budget to make like an animatronic bee. And so let's just get a bee in a little tube with a macro lens and just like throw it on there. And yet it's better for it.
Yeah.
Like, it would not have been as effective with a fake bee.
No.
I was really
Exactly.
hoping that the kid was going to start to profusely vomit a la The Exorcist, but that's not happen. It's like The Exorcist light. That's what I
There you
interpret.
go.
Fun mashup. So what I imagine is that whole scenario, that's someone that's in the hospital right now with COVID-19, get well soon, and they're feverish. That's one of the symptoms, and they're having a fever dream because they're hearing about these killer wasps. They're hearing about that happening, and so that's what they're seeing. So that's actually, I think, just a really strong representation of what's happening right now in this political economy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's deep. That hit me here. Wow.
Wow.
So,
Do you want to know what the comments are like?
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
let's go for it.
This is why we have lives. It's to connect people. Stacy just says, Laura says, "Hey Stacy, I miss you." This is what it's turned into. And then Laura talks back to Stacy about their bottle of booze. Tressie
watch
comes
the
in.
show.
Yeah,
So they're
I know.
not watching any of this.
They're not interested. Tressie comes in and says, "Hi, everyone." Stacy says, "Oh, excellent choice about your liquor tonight." Amy Church says, "Yes, I was waiting for a swarm of bugs cascade out of his body." Talk about a letdown. That would have been cool.
Yeah, like, I mean, were the bees real or not? Because if they're not real, then like, I want to see the killer bees.
Yeah, I agree.
It's head, who cares?
Sure.
Yeah. Where are they?
They're later on. They're
Later on.
But Mike, do you think giant killer bee or giant killer spider? Which is
Spider.
terrifying? Spider for sure.
Dear God, I would be terrified of a giant killer spider.
Totally.
Hey, bees in real life are cool. They're bros. Like they don't bother you. They pollinate plants. They're necessary. They barf out honey.
Nope.
Sure.
No.
Spiders, they'll mess you up.
Andrew, what do you think? Spider or bee? Giant scale.
Giant scale, killer spider, killer spider. I can't. Spiders
yeah.
are too much.
Yeah.
They're too much.
There you go. Tessa, what about you? Or another insect that's a giant? Do you think that could compete with a giant spider or giant bee?
Like what? Like I would like to see in the world, or that I would not like to see in the world.
Not like to see. Yeah.
Like, okay. Well, the thing with bees, anything that has the gift of flight, I hate, because it's just like a big advantage over myself. Spiders, the thing is, I don't know. It's probably something that's like biological that really makes me upset about spiders. So I don't think I would like that because the crawling around.
Yeah.
But worst of all would probably be a giant killer butterfly because those are actually the worst.
You don't like butterflies?
I don't like, flight. I don't like the flight.
Anything that flies.
They're okay when they're caterpillars, but when they become butterflies, adios. You know.
Honestly, a fuzzy caterpillar, very cute.
It's odd when you hang out with Tessa because all she does when she sees a plane is start to fucking cuss at it the entire time. So.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm on the no-fly list.
Amy brings up a good point. Giant bees does mean giant honey. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
Butterfly. Are you ready for your next clip?
Yeah. So this next clip, actually after the last show, Corrine had reminded me there's this movie called Love on a Leash. And if you really want like a big like breakdown of the movie, check out the Dare Daniel podcast. They really go inside and out. And I'm just going to give you a little clip that really reimagines Man's Best Friend.
Okay.
Why didn't he show up? Why? Answer me. Why?
Hey! Four Legs is here.
Sweetie, forget about him. Find new men.
I agree. Let Rita help you.
He's the only one I've ever loved. You okay? You got your medicine?
Lisa! I'm sorry, Mom, but it's my life. You're right. There's nothing I can ever do to help you.
Babe, I gave it my best shot. Hey, it's not my fault. They won't give a dog a marriage license.
Prince! Prince!
I am so depressed right now. I need some Kung Pao chicken. I gotta get me some Kung Pao, man. Kung Pao.
Prince, I'm leaving.
Is that it? Oh, that's it.
That's it. That's it.
Oh my god.
She's in love with her dog. What's wrong about that?
Wait.
You know?
It took me a second to realize that the dog was talking.
I know.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was like, oh, babe.
It's like a weird like Mystery Science Theater. Like, is somebody else on the call? What's going on?
It sounded like they didn't even like ADR the dog lines. They just had a guy standing next to the camera being like, "Hey," because it sounded too close.
Yeah, they didn't even focus in on the dog. So you're thinking, could it be the dog? Is it the stairs? Is it like what's happening?
No. So
I think that dog like slowly walking away, thinking, "I'm so depressed right now," is like the mascot of 2020.
We all just want some Kung Pao chicken to save us. That's really
in a restaurant, to be able to go into a restaurant and have it. My question is, did she fall in love with the dog? Was the dog ever a human and then turned dog, or was it dog from the get-go?
Started out as a dog. Yeah.
Neither is good.
I don't even need to know.
Yeah, it's like this weird thing of like she has the dog, but at night it turns into a human and then back to a dog in the morning.
Got it.
Somehow that's worse than either of them.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Start with the dog. No. Okay. I agree with her mom.
What?
Because her mom's like, you can't get over it.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted her to use that cane. You have a cane, use it.
She took out the inhaler. She was pissed.
Right. She wanted to, but it was just hurting her heart too much.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Now, Tessa, I mean, you don't have a dog, but you have a cat, and is there like an entree from Panda Express that your cat craves or something like that? This dog had Kung Pao chicken. Is there?
I think literally anything that I open on my coffee table, because that's, as like a bachelor, that's my table. But Stella is interested. She'd never eat it, but she definitely wants to take a lick to it. So she's open really to anything. She's pretty like cultural that way.
Nice. Mike, what about you? I know you don't have any animals, but is there a go-to dish for a dog or any household pet?
Or your plant?
I have a plant. That's true. I'm a new plant owner. I'm very proud of that fact. I needed some other living being in my apartment for this time. I haven't given it any solid food yet, but it has been enjoying what's left in my water bottle after my workouts. I imagine that next time I get some Kung Pao chicken, I'll probably toss some in there, see if it enjoys it.
I thought this was going a whole nother direction. I thought you were saying you were having sex with this new plant, Mike. That's what I thought this was going to.
Brian, this is a family show.
That's a you thing, Brian. I will not be held responsible for that.
Oh yeah, I admit it. If I was on a deserted island, I'd be fucking all the plants.
What if it was a desert island where all the plants were cacti?
Whoa! I figure
you gotta go for the palm trees, bro.
Yeah.
Trust.
Let me share some of the comments.
They gotta be insane.
Jabberwocky says butterflies are just snotty rich moths.
Do we know who the Jabberwocky is? They always comment. There's like the most wonderful things.
No, they're like one of 3 people on YouTube watching right now, but he is the only person that I assume it's a dude. Maybe I shouldn't. But they are the only ones that ever comment on YouTube. Amy Nelson said, "Love on a Leash, is that bondage?" That was before we saw the clip. Let's see. There was some... Laura Carruthers thinks that the Bee movie was better than this. She also said it was...
movie, not the Bee movie.
She said it was low rent porn quality filmmaking. It was, yeah. Amy Nelson says, "Congrats on being a plant owner, Mike."
Thank you.
Let's see. The Jabberwocky says, "Thank you, I'm honored." Let's see. After 20 years, they would come to rescue Brian. He'd be like, "Nah, I'm good."
Okay, this roasty in the comments.
Okay, that's all the comments right now. You want to set up Flick 3 here?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, we all know robots are taking over the world. It's only a matter of time that they just start becoming, the enforcement for any establishment. And I think this clip is kind of like a little peek into what's in store for the future. A little clip from the movie Chopping Mall.
Chopping Mall. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Yo,
Yeah.
Walter, you having a good time?
I'm laughing at him.
Paisley. He loves a challenge.
Yeah, what a dork.
If I ever find a little bastards that did this,
No sound.
dead meat.
I
Right, Walter,
I
right.
turned up the
Hey,
sound, but
you
it's
better
not.
hustle it up. You don't want to get locked up in here.
Oh, I can kind of hear it.
Hey, rub it in all you like. I'll be out here in 10 minutes, you'll see.
I've got it to 100% here. Will we be able to get the gist of this without?
Yeah, you'll still be fine.
Okay.
I can try to overdub it.
Overdub
washing this floor, all these punk kids, no respect for the mall. Oh, jeez.
Orphan Andrew, use that radio voice.
Go to Spencer's, bro. What is happening?
Oh.
Holt, you are in the wrong jurisdiction. I'm Hal from the janitorial staff. Come on. Jeez.
Damn, that robot's in the future. Futuristic. Uh-oh.
What's going on there? Oh, jeez.
A taser?
Worthless pile of junk, huh?
Is that Robert De Niro?
I work. See?
Andrew, save it. Johnny.
Part of the janitorial staff. Oh,
No.
oh no.
Okay,
and have a nice day. that is the line that is said.
Wait, does he say like, have a nice day? That's the robot dog.
Was that Arden Galleria?
Oh, that's the now debunked Florin Mall. But yeah, a piece of history there.
Dana wants to know if it's mall or mall.
Oh, that's a good question.
On the movie title is Mall, M-A-L-L.
Got it.
That was there's a lot of malls in there too.
Yeah, he was.
I can't help but notice there was no chopping in that mall.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what you said, right? Chopping mall?
Chopping mall, yeah. And a lot of it is like weird, like laser beams that are shot out, and there is, I guess, a few chop, but it should be like
Does
shooting.
he have the tools to chop? Do you think if that robot had the opportunity to chop, that they would chop?
I think so, but I think it's like a T-Rex syndrome. I don't know if it's like long enough to chop, if he had the chop.
Yeah. No, I get that. I wonder if that robot works at Lids. That's cool.
It reminded me of the robots from Robot Wars. Remember that? Anybody from like the 90s?
Mm. Oh yeah, for sure.
Robots in like
nerd.
The arena.
Yes.
Nerd. Yes. I did like how we could see, just for a split second, the man's skeleton when he was being electrocuted. I thought that was really, like, it brought us into the moment. And I thought it was kind of realistic, finally, for one of these movies. So that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I would not have known that he was being electrocuted if not for the full visible skeleton.
Right.
So I really appreciate that touch of realism.
Donna says that's De Niro's cousin Gary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what you were. That's what you were looking at, Andrew, when you were looking at the movie. You're like, he looks familiar. It was just Gary, though. Just Gary.
Gary De Niro.
Yeah. Tim Crump says Darth Maul, M-A-L.
That's a mashup with another franchise.
Yeah. And then Amy Nelson says Messy Robot.
Yeah. We couldn't hear the audio at the very beginning, but I did like that the other janitorial staff was bullying him. Or like it seemed like they were teenage girls, and
right.
He was like he had his hair in a ponytail and glasses on. He wasn't yet
That's how it really is though when you're a janitor at a mall. I don't know if you know that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really? Because that looked like the beginning of like some softcore porn or something.
Yeah.
That, not that I've watched, but
showgirl.
No, I think it's the element of like the other janitors are going off to a softcore porn movie set, and he has to stay in the horror.
Got it.
bad horror movie.
He's
set
always the cleaner, never the doer.
The cleaner, never the doer.
Perfect. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, Susan Wright says that is exactly what getting electrocuted looks like. So,
my God.
yeah.
I'm so sorry you've had to witness that, Susan.
And here's something funny. Rico on the radio goes, "Oh my God, it's Orphan Andrew." So
Oh, man. Is this Turf Wars?
I think so.
I love Rico. We need to get coffee soon, Rico, by the way.
Rico won't even let Andrew be on one of our shows without having to just chime in on the chat all the time.
Right.
So.
Hey, can't let me have a moment.
Guys, stop.
Stop.
Get along.
All right, you ready for your next film?
Yeah. Let's keep it moving. The next clip. So I don't know how much people know about the legendary status of trash filmmaker Neil Bren, and it's really bad. I consider him like if you guys know who Ed Wood is, like the modern day Ed Wood. His movies are terrible, but he always writes it, stars, produces, does everything, and you'll just get a taste of like how these little golden nuggets at the bottom of trash cans these clips are, these movies are. But here's a clip from the movie Double Down.
All right, here we go.
Can't go on with this. I can't go on with this. I'm an American. I love this country. It's my country.
So intense. He loves America. That's
bless him.
Was that it?
Just all that running. You have to keep that all in the movie. That's not going to be left on the cutting table there. The editing.
No, I gotta say, if you're gonna put in a running scene like that, if that were Tom Cruise, that would have been one take. None of those jumps.
Oh.
He clearly took a break in between a couple of times.
Right. Trying to speed it up. Trying to this is actually taking me a while. Let's keep it moving.
Wait, I have to share two things really quickly. Just really quick. I'm so sorry. Tina Jet says that's a quarantine protester. And Sarah says it's like a male version of a tampon commercial.
Great.
Oh, so good.
I don't know what was going on in that clip without much context, but I appreciate that they were like, okay, we have this desolate area, but we want to show that it's dangerous too. So they had just a leg and the attached foot from a plastic Halloween skeleton. That's enough set dressing. Go on.
There's a tight budget here,
Andrew, were you going to say something before I interrupted you? I thought you had your hand raised like you were going to say something.
I don't understand. Where was he running? Where is this man going?
He realized he loved America, and he in the movie there's some corruption. He's got to expose these lies to the people, and he's got to save the world.
Sounds like a documentary of today.
Your synopsis really cleared up everything for me.
Yes. Yeah.
It actually didn't, Brian.
No.
Because I'm just so this guy, he's the actor, the director, the producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm also assuming costume designer, and he chose that outfit. He was like, if I'm going to be in the desert, I need to be in stiff blue jeans.
Make it off. He wasn't ready to run, or at least make that for the audience to think.
Maybe he was a pioneer of Burning Man.
Oh.
That's true. I did get Burning Man vibes. Yeah.
But probably not.
Yeah, no.
He probably has been to Burning Man, though. I think I would agree with that.
Amy had another take on it. She said, okay, but did you see the masterpiece of the rock formation that looked like a vagina? So there you go. It's speaking to you without speaking to you.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if they had turned the camera 180 degrees, we would just see like a Night Ranger music video being filmed or something, because that's what he looked like he was dressed for.
Sure.
While
we're here, keep it moving.
What does Night Ranger do? What songs do they do?
Like "Don't Tell Me You Love Me," "Don't Tell Me You Love Me," or, like 80s rock.
No.
Why are you stopping? That's great.
Don't tell me I don't.
We're gonna demonetize this.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get shut down. They're gonna.
Yeah.
They're using too much of it.
Yeah, right.
Tessa, I mean, you started the show with a very, political ideas and everything like that. Is there a constitutional amendment that would make you have that realization that I gotta let people know about? I gotta get excited. Gotta get everyone else excited.
Like a new one, or like we're going back to basics and going to what we got? Because Second Amendment. Sorry.
Right to bear it. Yeah. Is there a later one that you had in mind that was you're pretty strong about?
Well, I forget the number, and I used to have them all. There's not as many. Okay, this is a little lesson for everyone. There's not as many amendments to the Constitution of the United States as you would think. Not that many. There should be more. It should be a little bit more amendable, in my personal opinion. One of my favorite ones is the most boring, which just like caps the pay of the Senate.
Oh.
I forget what it is, and I'm probably getting it wrong.
Good. All right.
It's been politics with Tessa.
Please don't ask me about the amendments.
Yeah, no, I know.
Do you have a favorite amendment? I'm going to ask you. What's
Whichever one repeals prohibition.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
First, yeah.
I think shouldn't we all be saying the 13th? Shouldn't the 13th be our favorite? Abolish slavery.
Yeah.
Isn't that our favorite?
That one.
That be our favorite?
That one's great.
I don't think anyone's going to say no, Tessa. Did you think someone was going to say
no? I'm just saying people forget about it. Forget about it. Everyone cares about number one.
All right. You want to set up your next flick? We're starting to run out of time here.
Yeah, for sure. The next clip, that's going to be our last clip for tonight. It's a clip from a movie that's kind of like a modern day take on a Hitchcock classic. This is from one of the famous bad movies, Birdemic.
Birdemic. Ooh, timely.
Shit, here they come.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Oh, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god. All I have to say is our graphics have gotten so much better since that Killer Bee movie. Like, things have just gone up. Like, that is modern technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still just doing well. Just really putting an honest effort in.
It looks like they're Instagram filters or GIFs or something that are just floating there. And I'm honestly just waiting for when birds that are flying are just gonna totally just lay it and go, to the bathroom all over the place.
Yeah, I can definitely see they turn their head, the birds are gone, and then turn it back, and there's back in frame on the Instagram filter for sure.
Yeah. It feels like I pinned something on my Instagram story, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't want to pin it. Like, stop pinning. And then it feels like it's pinned.
That's the whole thing. You gotta put it in the trash. You gotta bring it back. Oh.
Yeah.
Jenna has my favorite comment so far. She said, "It's startling how realistic this scene looks."
Yeah.
To be fair.
Whoa, yeah.
We've all seen The Birds, right? Or maybe, I don't know, Alfred Hitchcock. His looked real because it was real birds, but he also threw a bunch of crazy birds at his lead actress's face and psychologically scarred her for life.
It's called acting.
The producers of
Tessa.
Birdemic respected their actors enough to not traumatize them for real.
Listen, that's part of the game, all right? That's why do you think Tom Hanks is? Why do you think Tom Hanks is one of the best actors of all time? Because he got hit with birds early on in his career.
Sure. It's you have to get hit in the face with a bird if you want to make it.
Right.
But Hitchcock blacklisted her from Hollywood.
Good.
It's she might have been traumatized in that movie, but and then the actors in this movie were not traumatized, but
no.
When watching this movie, the viewer gets traumatized having to sit through about an hour 20 of it. So
somebody's got to get traumatized.
I really enjoyed, going back into the costume design, I really enjoyed their outfits because it reminded me of 2004, 2005. I would have been in high school. And so that looks like a movie that I would have made with my friends for a video production class where we then did clip art of birds on it. And it's us doing this. I'm pretty sure that there's a video out in the wild that is that movie.
Well, you better call your lawyer and.
Wait,
I am. Oh, I already have. It's
searching?
actually
Brian's searching. Something's happening.
I know. I just got. Hold on. I'm gonna find you. You guys just talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna find you something. I'm gonna find you something in just a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I am.
With them trying to open that door, by the way.
Oh yeah.
How do locks work? Nobody knows.
Were they in a hotel?
Yeah.
It's I noticed the hangers didn't have the thing to actually hang it on, so it's they took it from the hotel where they're locked onto the curtain.
They're technically at a motel because it was drive-in. It was a motel, a motor inn.
What? Whoa.
No, I'm just educating. Brian, I'm just educating people.
Yeah, we're going for accuracy here.
I think they may have been on spring break. They look the age. They're relatively hot young kids. We're at a motel.
Traveling in a minivan type situation. Yeah.
Sure.
My favorite part is they were trying to get the birds away by just doing this over and over again with
And their birds aren't moving at all. They're still in the same place.
Yeah.
One doesn't leave. It's all
same bird, just.
The fact that they stayed in the same position.
Somebody unlock the door, please.
And we just recreated that movie.
That's it.
That movie.
I tried to find a transparent background so it would look.
Well,
nope.
Good effort.
Wait.
Oh gosh.
Is it? Nope.
There we go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Jesus. Oh, man. It's coming. It's so beautiful, but it's also trying to attack. Oh.
Technically, that was a transparent background.
Yeah. It's the technology that's failing you, not the other way around.
You found what you needed to find, Brian.
But even the producers of Birdemic managed to get the transparent background.
Sorry. Amy Church would disagree with you. She said Brian got those high-tech effects. Brian's flex for the night is what Megan said.
Oh, wow. They're so roasty.
I know. Okay, sorry.
All good. So, yeah, that was our last clip. But before we go, we just got to ask the age-old question that we do every episode of the Bad Flick Show. What did you learn? Andrew, we'll start with you. What did you learn after this experience?
That Showgirls is still my favorite movie. It's been upgraded. It's like my favorite movie.
Good.
Fantastic. Mike, what did you learn?
Well, as I've been learning over the last, 6 weeks or so, like it's really important to kind of give respect for our essential workers out there. Because now, apparently, on top of everything they normally have to do, they're also like fighting off mall robots. And that's news to me. So shout out to all the essential workers out there.
Very good. Tessa, what did you learn?
I learned that it's okay to fall in love with a dog.
Nice. Perfect. Awesome. Well, that is our show. But before we go, we do have the big day of giving going on tomorrow with 24 hours worth of programming here on the Comedy Spot Live. But I know Tessa and Mike both have shows, so I wanted to make sure they were able to plug it. Tessa, what shows are you doing tomorrow and what times?
Yeah. So tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, me and Mike LaRosa, we're actually going to be going head-to-head on random topics. You guys, the audience, get to choose what we're fighting about. And I think it's going to get pretty ugly. So that will be fun. And then at 2:30, it's going to get even uglier with the Hot Wing Challenge. What that is during the course of a half an hour, every time we get $20 donated, the people that are part of the stream, so Nicholas George, Grant Potter, and Chris Emery, and myself, we're going to eat a very spicy hot wing. So something like really painful. And so the more you donate, the more we eat. It's going to be disgusting.
Oh boy, that sounds super fun. Mike, what about you? And you got the debate show. Was anything else you're in or excited for?
Like Tessa said, the debate show at 1 p.m. That's going to be a lot of fun. And also at 1 a.m., so in a few hours, I will be on Snake Tank, in which we will be improvising invention pitches for investors to invest in. And we're given the characters and items on the spot, and we just immediately have to go into the pitch. It's going to be really funny. It's going to be a lot of fun. The audience can also vote on that. Ooh. So, yeah, I'll be on at 1 and 1 in the next 24 hours.
Wow.
And, yeah,
really bookending it.
Everybody should watch the stream as much as they can, because there's going to be stuff going on all day, some of which I have videos in, so watch me.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Andrew, I know you're not in any shows, but is there anything that you wanted to plug or talk about?
I'm not in any shows, but thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And I'm on 106.5 The End, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. I want to get back to River Cats games at some point soon. I just want to get back to the ballpark and stuff too. But thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it.
Hey, Alex, I got one more thing for you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's just one more thing. It should be popping up here in just a second.
Those pretty eyes. Oh, jeez.
He got it.
No.
Okay, we got to get out of here. So thank you, all of you. Alex, thanks for putting this together. Always great flicks that you put together every single week. And then Andrew, Mike, Tessa, you guys are fantastic. And I'll see everybody later on. Bye, everybody at home. See you later on.
See you.
Thanks, everybody.